Allen Iverson was more than just a basketball player. He was a cultural icon. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, he was one of the most iconic athletes of all time, with a style and swagger that changed the NBA's image. He started for the Philadelphia 76ers as a perennial all-star and scoring champion, and he averaged a remarkable 26.7 points per game over his career. People remember Iverson as much for his impact off the court as much as on-court production. But the real question is, with all that hype, how great was he as a player actually? Iverson arrived as the #1 pick in 1996 and made an immediate splash. In his rookie 1996 season, he averaged 23.5 points and even dropped a 50-point game in the playoffs. That was all enough to earn him Rookie of the Year. He quickly became the 76ers franchise star, and by the lockout-shortened 1998 season, Iverson won his first scoring title. Averaging 26.8 points per game, he cemented his status as an elite scorer in the league. 2 years later, in 2001, he reached the peak of his individual honors as he averaged 31.1 points per game and captured a scoring title and was voted the NBA's most valuable player. That same year, he led Philadelphia all the way to the NBA Finals, where they lost to Shaq and Kobe's Lakers, but at age 26, Iverson had an MVP trophy in hand and a Finals appearance on his resume, an outstanding early career achievement. Iverson kept piling up the points as he won 2 more scoring titles after his MVP year, averaging 31.4 points per game in 2002 and 30.7 points per game in 2006. He had jaw-dropping games along the way. For example, he scored 54 and 51 points on back-to-back nights in December of 2004 and set a career high with 60 points in a single game in 2005. He was voted to 11 All-Star games and earned 7 All-NBA team selections, reflecting that he was consistently one of the very best guards in the league year after year. But Iverson's career also had its lows and drama. He became known for his fiery personality and clashes with coaches. In May 2002, after another first-round playoff upset, he famously snapped at reporters. He said, "Not a game, we're talking about practice? How silly is that?" In that press conference, the so-called practice rant became an enduring meme of his career as he drew league fines and criticism for skipping team events or arguing with coaches, even sitting out a game in 2004 rather than coming off the bench. But by late 2006, the tension in Philadelphia was high, and Iverson was made available for trade and ultimately was shipped off to the Denver Nuggets. With Denver in 2006, Iverson continued to score in the mid-20s per game, but the Nuggets never made a deep playoff run. Then in November of 2008, he was traded to the Pistons, and that year in Detroit was a struggle. He dealt with injuries, age, and a diminished role. Iverson later called 2008 the worst year of my career, especially after disagreements about coming off the bench. He missed many games with a back injury and parted ways with Detroit after one season. Iverson signed briefly with Memphis in 2009 and then made a short-lived return to the 76ers in 2009 and 2010. But by then, he was no longer in his prime as he played one season overseas before hanging up his sneakers in 2011. By the numbers, Iverson's career was very impressive. He averaged 26.7 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals per game over 14 NBA seasons. His awards include the following. He's a one-time MVP in 2001, and he backed that up by leading Philly to the NBA Finals. He's a 4-time scoring champ in 1999, 2001, 2002, and 2006. He led the NBA in scoring 4 different seasons, a mark very few guards reach. He was an 11-time All-Star from 2000 to 2010, and he was a fixture in All-Star games throughout his career. He was 7-time All-NBA, 3-time First Team, 3-time Second Team, and 1-time Third Team. This shows that coaches and media viewed him as a top 5 to 15 player in the league nearly every single year. And as previously mentioned, he won Rookie of the Year in 1997 as he burst onto the scene immediately. In 2016, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and in 2021 was named to the NBA's 75th anniversary team, cementing his legacy as one of the all-time great guards. Iverson's era was full of other superstar guards, so it's natural to compare. Talking sheer scoring, he often held his own as he retired with a higher career scoring average than Kobe Bryant, but their resumes are very different. Kobe won 5 championships and accumulated 15 All-NBA nods, as Iverson won 0 championships and had only 7 All-NBA nods. Dwayne Wade, a slightly younger contemporary, won 3 rings and a Finals MVP and made 3 All-Defensive teams, while Iverson's prime had more solo career shine. Steve Nash, another rival guard, won 2 league MVPs and led the league in assists 5 times, as Iverson just won 1 MVP and led the league in scoring 4 times. Tracy McGrady was very similar to Iverson in explosiveness, but they each earned 7 All-NBA selections, as Iverson took 4 scoring titles, while McGrady just had 2. In short, Iverson often outscored his peers, but players like Kobe or Wade had more team success. Stat-wise, Iverson's strengths were elite scoring and playmaking for a small guard, whereas some of his peers complemented that with defense, efficiency, or team rings. Now for his legacy, is he underrated or misunderstood? Today, Allen Iverson is remembered as a Hall of Famer and an all-time great shooting guard. HoopsHype recently ranked him as the 4th best shooting guard ever, noting he was one of the most ridiculously explosive athletes the sport has ever seen, and one of the most influential players ever both on and off the court, so in that sense, nobody doubts his talent or impact, as he never won an NBA title and sometimes shot inefficiently, so some critics see him as a flawed superstar. Others argue he was underrated, as his raw numbers and the fact that he carried weak teams in Philadelphia prove his greatness beyond a shadow of the doubt. By all accounts, Iverson changed the game. He's credited with inspiring younger players to bring style and swagger to the court. Off the court, he was a cultural phenomenon. On it, he was a top-tier guard. In the end, Iverson was unquestionably among the elite players of his era. Whether you measure greatness by points per game, championships, or influence, there's plenty of evidence he was truly outstanding, even if he didn't fit the traditional mold. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want more videos like this, be sure to leave a comment down below, and until next time, peace.